What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90, and today we are moving on to the Europa League quarterfinals. Now, before we get into the predictions for the quarterfinals, first of all, please do drop a like on the video, as you guys absolutely smashed it with the support on the last episode. We got over 4,000 views, which is absolutely mental. So let's try and break 100 likes down below on the video. And before we get into the quarterfinals, let's take a little look back at my round of 16 second leg predictions. Now, kicking it off, the biggest upset for me was Copenhagen against Istanbul, and I predicted a 1-1 draw, sending Istanbul through 2-1 on aggregate, and Copenhagen really stepped up, winning 3-0. You'll see a little trend here. 7 of the 8 fixtures ended in a home win to 0, and oddly enough, the only team at home conceding a goal in the round of 16 second leg was actually Manchester United, which was definitely unexpected. So home form definitely favoured the teams in this one. The next game was Shakhtar against Wolfsburg. I predicted a 2-2 draw, and it was 0-0 for the vast majority of the game. And then with a few minutes to go, Shakhtar Donetsk put 3 past a 10-man Wolfsburg. It was a 10-man Shakhtar Donetsk as well, but Shakhtar going through as I predicted. I did correctly predict 7 of the 8 teams going through. Like I said, Copenhagen and Istanbul, the main upset for me. Inter Milan and Getafe was my only correct score prediction, and it was the one that I was the most certain on. I predicted the 2-0 win, so I was quite happy with that. Man United, I predicted them to win 3-0. They ended up winning 2-1. They didn't play that great, in fairness, but what can you do when you're 5-0 up, really? So they actually ended up getting the Brazil on aggregate. Bayer Leverkusen against Rangers, I predicted a 2-1 win to Leverkusen. It was just a simple 1-0 win. Sevilla and Roma, I predicted a 1-1 draw, and Sevilla, they've taken their home form and ran with it, even though they weren't the home team, actually, I should say. They've just taken their overall form, and they won convincingly, deservedly, 2-0, knocking Roma out of the competition. So Sevilla looking to win the Europa League again for the first time since Unai Emery's departure, when they won 3 back-to-back. Basel and Eintracht Frankfurt, I predicted a high-scoring game on the basis that Frankfurt would have to go for it if they had to make any attempt to get into the next round, and they just didn't, and Basel won 1-0. Wolves against Olympiacos, I predicted a 2-1 win to Wolves, and they got the 1-0 win, a crucial early goal from Raul Jimenez. So again, as I said, not terrible predictions, but not the best, I guess you could say, and hopefully going on into the quarterfinal we can do a little bit better. So please do drop your predictions down in the comments below. Kicking it off, we have Inter Milan up against Bayer Leverkusen, two strong candidates for the Europa League, it does have to be said. I can't look past Inter Milan in this one. They finished Serie A in great form, obviously finishing 1 point behind Juventus, which is pretty crazy. That was largely helped to Juventus' poor run at the end of the season. But they've won multiple games in a row without conceding, and you know, scoring 2-3 goals. They look great. They're very well set up. However, I do think Bayer Leverkusen are going to score a goal. They've actually scored at least 1 goal in 24 of their last 25 matches in all competitions. So Bayer Leverkusen can find the net. Okay, the only time they didn't, I believe, was in a 2-0 loss against Hertha Berlin. And potentially Inter Milan could get another 2-0 win here, but I think given that it's not 2 legs, it's just 1 leg, 1 match, so you've got a score to go through, basically, unless you're backing a 0-0, which is not going to happen with Inter Milan and Leverkusen, I don't think. So Leverkusen will have to score. I think they're going to score, but I think Inter Milan are going to do what they've been doing in recent weeks, scoring at least 2 goals in the game, and I'm going to give them the 2-1 win, sending Inter Milan into the semi-finals. Now, coming up after that, we have Manchester United against Copenhagen, arguably the most favourable tie for Manchester United that they could have gotten, and I think United are going to win this one. Copenhagen, they do see some high-scoring games in their respective domestic league, and obviously they beat Istanbul 3-0, which is pretty damn good. It does have to be said, but Man United, unlike the second leg against Lask, they will be full strength. It's not like they've got the Premier League to play with and other stuff to play for like you would in a regular season. This is the only competition that they're in, and they're going to want to win it, so they're going to play full strength for this fixture, which means, in my opinion, Man United are going to be far too strong. I think Copenhagen will score because, again, I've put both teams to score in every leg of this, every match of this quarterfinal, just because you basically have to score to go through, and I think every team is going to obviously want to do that, so that's why I'm backing goals. But Man United will be comfortable victors here, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to Manchester United. It could even be 4, because like I said, they are going to be playing full strength. Now, coming up after that, we have Shakhtar Donetsk up against Basel. Basel sweeping Eintracht Frankfurt aside. However, I think Shakhtar are just going to be a little too good going forward, they are absolutely electric. I think Basel will score given the form that they've been on lately in Europe. And like I said, both teams are scoring every fixture. I just do see that happening. But I'm going to go for another 3-1 win to Shakhtar Donetsk. I think they are just going to get through. I think Shakhtar are a really, really good team, and I said they were my dark horse in the Europa League a little while ago, and I'm going to stick with that. And the final fixture is Wolves up against Sevilla. Now, obviously, Sevilla, they brushed Roma aside. Wolves, however, they'll be a lot more resolved in defense, a lot stronger. I don't see Wolves scoring more than 1 goal, so I was tempted to go for a 2-1 win to Sevilla, but I think Wolves, they're a Premier League side, well established. I think they oh, it's so tough. It's so tough. If I had to pick a winner, I would go with Sevilla. But I think because Wolves have a good defense, it's typically low scoring in Wolves games and typically low scoring in Sevilla games as well. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And however you want to say it, whether it's after extra time or penalties, this is just to try and tie-break them. I'm English. There's the Premier League bias. Maybe I say Wolves go through either after extra time or penalties. But then again, I did say I was close to picking Sevilla to win 2-1. So I couldn't tell you who's going to go through here. All I know is it's going to be very, very close. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline prediction. But Sevilla are really good. They are really good. They're playing really well. Wolves, you don't know. So I think actually I'm going to say 1-1 draw and then Sevilla to progress somehow. I don't know how, but I'm just going to have to pick one of them. 1-1 scoreline, Sevilla to progress, leaving Inter Milan, Manchester United, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Sevilla in the semi-finals. I don't know who that would mean plays who. I don't know how the bracket is actually going to work out. But that is my semi-final for the Europa League. Bayer Leverkusen, Copenhagen, Basel, and Wolves bowing out. I don't know. I don't want to predict Wolves to go out. I think they can go through. But Sevilla are just one of the form teams right now in Europe. They haven't lost in so long. So it's going to be a tough one. But nevertheless, that is going to do it from this video. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like on it, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. We've got Champions League coming up, more Europa League, then Nations League. Then we're back with Premier League. Summer break is over. We're going towards 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I'm very, very excited. And I will see you in the next video very soon.